Say, man, hey, man, the man with no land, the man with no home, finally got a place to stay. Teofimo Lopez has been invited to the PBC. Let's talk about Teofimo and PBC up next. Y'all smash the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can cook on this. Ain't nobody see this coming. Say, man, Teofimo Lopez, he been doing everything he can to try to keep his name in the media. But he going about it the wrong way, and he letting everybody know how he feel going about it because he been going on racist rants. This ain't nothing new. He been telling people how he feel about black fighters for a long, long time, and now he's done it so much that most of these promotional companies don't want nothing to do with it. His own promotional company, Top Rank, they said, you know what? We don't want nothing to do with T.O. no more. Every fight that we put on the table for him, he ducking. So what we're going to do is we're going to step back. We're going to let him do what he wants to do, but he's still going to have to pay us our promotional fees. Yeah, so they let it be known, Bob Arum let it be known that Teofimo Lopez is still under contract, but he's free to go and do what he want to do with any other promoter because they sick and tired of T.O., right? He's too much of a problem for them to deal with, but they still gonna get their bread out of him because any fight that he gets, right, any promoter that he goes with, he got to pay them their promotional fees. Now, up until now, T.O. ain't really had a home because we see that he fell out with Turkey Al-Sheikh, right? A lot of these other promoters, they're afraid to touch T.O. because of these racist rants he been going on for the last couple years. But who just grabbed Teofimo Lopez? It seems like that T.O. is now going to be going into a partnership with the PBC, Al Heyman, Luis de Cubas. Yeah, well, that's what it's looking like. T.O., he posted a video on his Instagram with a PBC hat on, and he also posted the date of August the 16th. Yeah, I don't know if y'all missed it a couple weeks ago, but he had posted a little snippet of him meeting with the PBC. So this has been something in the works with Teofimo Lopez. Now, I know what y'all thinking. Who's next? If he's fighting on August 16th, who is he fighting? Well, we know it ain't Devin Haney. Devin Haney ain't with the PBC. So who could it be? We know it ain't going to be nobody like Gary Antoine Russell because Teofimo ducked the whole 140-pound division. That 140-pound division is stacked, and all of a sudden, T.O. want to bluff call-outs to Jerron Boots Ennis and Terrence Crawford and shit like that. But you got a whole division. You got Gary Antoine Russell on the PBC. You got Alberto Puello. You got Subriel Matias. I don't think he went to PBC no more, but we know all these fights can happen, and so on and so on. You got Richardson Hitchens. He went to Zone, right? You ducked him. So, I mean, you didn't duck the whole division, including Devin Haney, and people like scratching their head like, why he ducked Devin Haney, right? But I know why he ducked Devin Haney. Devin Haney is a horrible stylistic matchup for Teofimo Lopez. So who can T.O. fight on the PBC banner? A lot of people, oh, Tank. No, it ain't Tank. Definitely ain't Tank. Tank is fighting Lamont Roach. And after that, Tank is fighting Jake Paul. And then after that, Tank is taking a hiatus. He leaving boxing for good or for a while. He already let everybody know the plan is still the plan. He ain't changed his plans. So Teofimo Lopez is going to the PBC. Why? Why are you going to the PBC? I'm cool with all of these promotional companies. I'm not one of these promotional bangers, but I'm asking myself, why are you going to the PBC? Because for those who don't know, Amazon Prime, they're not even going to be rocking with the PBC no more. Amazon Prime announced that when the PBC deal is up sometime this year, they're not going to do no more business with the PBC, right? They're moving on from the PBC. So the PBC is going to be like Teofimo Lopez soon. If they don't get a deal with somebody else, they're going to be the man with no land, the man with no home. But I hope that's not the case, right? I hope PBC maybe can get a deal with Netflix or NBC or some big network, because they got a lot of big talent on that roster that I would love to see fight more often. But if you go into the PBC, who is Teofimo Lopez going to fight over there? Pitbull got a fight coming up, right? So it ain't Pitbull. Maybe Rayo, maybe El Rayo at 140, right? Maybe he going back to 140 or staying at 140 pounds. I don't know, but this is a surprise, because I'm surprised that after all of the racist rants that Teofimo has went on, that Al Heyman would even touch him, that Luis de Cubas Jr. would even touch Teofimo Lopez. Plus, what has Teo really done lately? You know what I'm saying? He's still bragging off of beating Vasil Lomachenko 5.5 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to move on from that, because if we look at Teofimo Lopez's resume as of, the last few years, he ain't really done nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? He bragging about that Josh Taylor win constantly. It's always Josh Taylor and Lomachenko. Lomachenko, like I said, was 5.5 years ago. The Josh Taylor win was a couple years ago, but Josh Taylor was washed up already. He had been to rehab. He had lost his fight before Teofimo, but got a gift decision and set out for like 17 months. So, I mean, man, Teo, he talked that talk and he gassed himself. His fans gassed him up. But what has he really done lately? Ain't nobody looking at Honor Barbosa Jr. as one of them ones. So, we know, per Bob Arum, that they've had some big names on the table for Teofimo to fight, and he's ducked all of them. He's turned all of them down. Subriel Matisse being one. We know what happened with Devin Haney, and we could go on and on. But see, he stays relevant because he picks a big name in a weight division that he's not in to always call out to fool the fans. That shit is all bluff. You know what I'm saying? He bluffing. He continues to bluff, and a lot of fans believe that bluff, but I'm just curious to see who Teofimo is going to fight next. Is Teo a good fighter? Yeah, he's a good fighter, but to me, he's not great. He has a lot of raw talent, right? But he also has holes in his game that comes out when he fights certain fighters, like boxers like Devin Haney, fighters that can move. We seen that in the Sandor Martin fight. We seen that against Jermaine Ortiz. But we continue to give Teofimo Lopez excuses every time he has a horrible performance. But if you look at who he's having a horrible performance against every time, it's the same style fighters, boxers that can move, that can fight on the outside, that make Teofimo Lopez come to them. That's why he ducked Devin Haney. But, Teofimo looks like that he's going into a partnership with the PBC, and from the looks of it, he looked like that his next fight will be promoted by the PBC. Let's see who he's going to fight. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know who y'all want to see him fight over there on the PBC, who y'all think he going to fight at the PBC. Let me know. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and y'all already know how I do. Diego talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.